I've got some good suggestions of new ways to stop Iran. I spent full time thinking about this. It looks like the deal is going to be approved. But Obama, in doing so, will have, I think, have made a very serious error in not following the script laid out for him in the Corker-Cardin bill, which was the act of Congress that set up the framework for the approval of this agreement. Of course, the bill itself is terrible because it says that you need a two-thirds majority to disapprove, whereas the Constitution says you need a two-thirds majority to approve. But nevertheless, it's legal. But the bill requires that Obama submit to Congress all relevant treaty documents, and he hasn't. The protocols between the International Atomic Energy Agency on the one hand and Iran on the other are still secret. And they contain, according to some who are speaking off the record, provisions that basically Iran self-inspects. The honor system. They send soil samples to the IAEA, which evaluates them to see if they contain radioactive materials or stuff that would indicate that there's bad stuff going on. And there are certain bases that Iran says have nothing to do with the thing, and inspectors are not allowed in there. It's a terribly flawed side agreement, and Obama will not send that to Congress, will not publish it, and will not tell anybody what's in it. In fact, there's even some possibility that he himself has not seen it. Kerry, for example, said that he had not seen it, and Wendy Sherman, his deputy, had. Now, that failure opens a door for us that we could use to derail this whole thing. Bear in mind, all we need to do is stop it until a new president takes office in 18 months. And we need to stop the lifting of the sanctions. Well, there are two ways that we could consider doing that. One is, I believe that the victims of Iranian terror who are currently litigating in federal court for damages and have already been ruled as having standing, and the court has already ruled that they have the right to pursue this litigation. They hope to be compensated out of the Iranian assets that Obama is now unfreezing and sending to Iran. So I believe they may have a basis for seeking an injunction to stop the lifting of those sanctions, to stop sending those assets back to Iran, because that's the pool of money out of which they would be compensated for the relatives and family members who the Iranians killed. Along that same line, if it becomes clear that the Republican majority in both houses of Congress believes that this deal is illegal because Obama did not live up to the requirement to send the treaties that were concluded to Congress and to make a full disclosure of those, then corporations and companies throughout the United States and the world are going to be very reluctant to move back into Iran. This is a point that Ted Cruz makes that I think is brilliant. You know, corporations are very risk-averse, and lawyers for corporations are even more risk-averse. And you could argue that anybody who sells goods to Iran and violates American sanctions is committing a crime, a serious crime punishable by jail time. And the fact that there is an agreement that the president says permits him to lift sanctions when the procedures followed in the agreement are illegal would not necessarily be sustained by the courts. The courts might say that that treaty is illegal. The ratification process was illegal because Obama did not comply with it and did not provide the documents that are necessary. The 60-day clock that Congress has to act never started because the documents were never provided, and therefore anybody engaged in trade with Iran is violating the law and subject to prosecution. And if in addition to that, the Republican candidates for president said that when they take office, they will prosecute anybody who has had dealings with Iran, they will act as if this agreement doesn't exist because it's never been approved by Congress, and rip it up, as they said in the debate the other night. If that happens, I think that corporations are going to be very skittish about having anything to do with Iran. And they're going to be very worried about charging in to the open window, an open door left by the removal of the sanctions. So those are two strategies that I think can buy us time. And all we need is the 18 months until a hopefully Republican president takes office and gets rid of this damn agreement. By the way, I just want to call attention to John Kasich's position in Wednesday night's debate. When he said that he would not rip up that agreement and that that was irresponsible and reckless, I think that really is terrible. I think it really shows that this guy is not someone who we would like to see as president. Thanks for watching.